It's the time, it's the time, it's the time, it's the time to you in your arms. Hey, you guys, come on in. It is Wednesday, and you know that Wednesdays equal tea time. Let me make sure that my volume is up. We're going to pump up the volume. There we go. Pump up the volume. Okay, you guys, I am so excited about today's Tea Time with Tia topic. It is on transition. Come on, can anybody relate with this topic? Transition. I mean, I can, and I'm excited to teach about this because it's going to give me some clarity about what has been taking place in my life for since what January. I've been in a place of transition and I didn't even know it. So hold on, let me add that so I won't lose it. Okay, you guys. So listen, I am somebody who loves change, right? You guys know I like to change my hair often. I don't like to be predictable, right? I don't like, if you run into somebody from the way or your old neighborhood and they say something to you like, girl, you ain't changed a bit. It's like, no, for me, that is an insult. I don't think of that as a compliment because change is inevitable. Everybody should be changing. You should want to change. You should not want to remain the same. If you haven't seen somebody in 20 years and they say, girl, you haven't changed a bit, they threw shade. I'm telling you, they was throwing shade at you. And no, they didn't mean to, but that's the way you should take it. You should take that personal and say, oh no, I gotta get busy. I gotta start changing some things about myself. I want to be unrecognizable. I want to be unrecognizable, right? I don't want to be predictable. I don't want any, I like, the unknown. I like being uncomfortable. Do I have anybody out there that's with me? I know most people don't like it. I never like to feel like I'm not growing. I love to grow. I love to be uncomfortable. I love new adventures. If I feel like I've been doing something for, a long time, I'm always going to God and say, okay, God, what's next? Like, what we doing here? I mean, even working on jobs, how some people have been on their jobs for 20 years, 30 years, they retired, that ain't for me. I'm not that chick. I'm not that girl. I can give you 3 good years and then I'm out. You know, uh even serving in different areas, I like to be stretched. I like to be impactful. I like to pass the baton, if you will. So, but even though I don't want to, mislead you, even though, I like to be uncomfortable, there's still, this uneasiness that come with it. I still go through all of the emotional uncertainties. I still go through all of the hesitation. I still go through all of those things. But for me, I think the reason why, and that's what I want to talk about. Hopefully, this could be a two-part series because I want to connect transition with faith. And so maybe next week we'll talk a little bit more. We'll introduce the faith piece into the transition piece. But I think I'm here because I want to change your perspective on transition, right? Just because it can appear to have a lot of negative emotions behind it, fear, doubt, uncertainty, but I want to change your perspective. I've been in these seasons of my life of change and transition. But for me, I look at it in a way that I want to see what God has for me. I want to see what He has already planned for me. And I know that this is the manner in which I have to go through to get to. Right? So, you know me, I like to start off with a definition. I'm telling you, you guys, you don't want to miss this teaching. When you watch this replay, make sure you comment replay, make sure that you like, make sure that you subscribe. If you're on YouTube watching it, make sure that you share. I'm telling you, this is going to be great, and it's timely. I'm telling you, my messages are time sensitive. It's going to help you. I'm telling you, you guys, we are on the brink of something new, of something we've never seen before, of something we've never experienced, of the old passing away and the new is going to be our normal. And if you don't understand what transitions mean, then you might miss this moment. If you don't understand transition, you're gonna go kicking and screaming, and you're gonna not take advantage of this time period. So let's go to the definition of transition. So transition is the process or period of changing from one state or condition to another. Transition is the process or period. It's a window of time of changing from one state or condition to another. Transition. Did you guys see my stories? How I had those two arrows? They were going in different directions. One was coming and one was going. So, transition is something to leave behind and something to look forward to. Come on, to me, that is exciting. I know for most people who, is creatures of comfort and creatures of habit, and you kind of got your routine, you're a routine person, you got your routine down packed, you got your schedule down packed, you don't really like change or disruptions or interruptions because it throws you off. But see, when I read this definition, something to leave behind and something to look forward to, I get excited. It's like, yes, out with the old, in with the new. Like, let's move on. Let this is how I feel. Let me experience what I've never experienced before. Give me a challenge. Give me an opportunity. That's how I look at it. Like, test me. I want to see who I am. Like, I want to see, God, what you know about me. What is it that you know about me that I need to discover? Maybe that's why I put on my little bucket hat today. It's like, let's go on this safari. Let's go on this journey. Like, I'm ready for a transition. And I'm telling we're going to talk about it, but this is so good. So then you guys know I like to look up synonyms, like to really hammer in and get this definition in my mind, in my soul, in my spirit. So I looked up some synonyms for transition, and it means changeover, conversion, development, evolution. It means growth, passage, progress, progression, shift, transformation, and upheaval. So I think that all of this is so good, right? So one of my sons, they first heard God say to them, transition. And so he sent the word transition to our family group chat. And so he was like, this is just what I heard God saying. And, God has been speaking to my husband Q also about this word transition. And I'm telling you, you guys, well, let me kind of stay on track. I want to share this up with you. The journey of faith is in essence a journey of transformation. And now that may not make sense to you, but as I continue teaching on this lesson, it will. I just wanted to kind of give you a nugget. The journey, something to meditate on. The journey of faith is in essence a journey of transformation. Man, you're gonna need that faith. That faith is a key component. It's a partner to transition. Faith is about change. Faith is about change. Okay, so God is out to change us. Such transformation involves growth, new beginnings, and possibilities and opportunities that we may never have considered before. It also can change long held opinions about things, introducing us to new truth and new life giving approaches to our living and to the world around us. Come on, God is out to change us. He want to change us. He want us to evolve. He want us to expand. He want us to grow. He want us to shift. He want us to progress. He doesn't want us to stay the same. I mean, think about how big God is and think about, who you are in this world. It's like it is more to you than just that. It is more to you. I mean, it's like he knows the plans he has for you. He knows everything that you're capable of. It's like even when you think that you can't handle something, it's like God is like, I wouldn't put more on you than you can bear. You have the capacity for this. You can handle this. It's like you see so many people tapping out of life because they feel like they can't do this or they can't take it anymore. No, you are equipped. He has given us everything that pertains to life and godliness. And so for me, you got to look at this season in your life, this transition, this period of time, right? Where you're changing from one state or condition to another. I mean, like you getting some pressure put on you, and that pressure is just allowing you the opportunity to show who you really are, who he created you to be. I mean, I want you to get excited about being transformed, leaving behind and something to look forward to. You leaving behind something that you've already experienced and you moving forward to something new, to something different, to something that only God could have, gifted you with. Transition is about, oh, where's my note? Where's the one about God? Hold on, I'm going to find it. Okay. The Romans 12 and 2 says, let's go to Romans 12 and 2. I'll find what I was looking for. Do not conform to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by the renewal of your mind. See, God's intention, his plan is not for us to blend in, to settle, to be conformed to the world. He wants us to be transformed. But how do we transform ourselves? We got to, renew our minds. We got to change our thinking. We got to change our patterns. I like this one. It also can change long held opinions, things that you once believed to be true. The Pharisees and the Sadducees had a hard time with receiving Jesus and his teachings because it was something new. It was something that they never heard before. It was something that challenged their old beliefs, challenged their mindset, challenged how they thought things should be. Right? They were taught, the 10 Commandments. They lived off of these biblical principles, and then here come Jesus with his radical self, and he just muck it all up. He just go and mess everything up. He had to get them on the same page as Jesus. And sometimes you got to abandon what you believe to be true, abandon your thoughts, abandon your ideals, abandon your knowledge. Yeah, there could even be times where what you used to do worked for you. And then you entering into this new season and it's like ain't nothing working. Things ain't going. You getting frustrated because you saying, well, I used to do it like this. Why this not working no more? You are in a season of transition. I'm going to give you some indicators so you know. So the opportunity of faith is change and transformation. The opportunity of faith is change and transformation. I'm going to see if I wrote that so I can post it. Our personal transformation helps us to become more resilient and empowered to meet changes, good and bad, as they occur in the journey of life. Our personal transformation helps us to become more resilient and empowered to meet changes, good and bad, as they occur in the journey of life. Come on, isn't that powerful, you guys? This is why we have to embrace this period of transition. Okay, so here's some questions that you can write down, and I want you to think about it. Go home and meditate on these. How is God transforming us? How is He transforming you? How are we open to the gifts of transformation? I'm with that. You got to think of this as a gift, as an opportunity, you know, as a challenge, as a, okay, God, you invite me over into your world, into your realm, into your eyes, into your heart. I get to see what goodness you have for me. How are we open to the gifts of transformation? What are the changes that we are facing right now? Come on, write that down. What are the changes that you are facing right now? How do we see God in the midst of them? Come on, if you feel like you're in a season of transition, right? How do you see God in the midst of this? You got to ask yourself, God, what is this about? What is taking place right now? What new possibilities might God be bringing to us during this time? Come on, what new possibilities? I mean, let your imagination run wild. I mean, start writing down some possibilities, some ideas, some thoughts. And then ask yourself, how do I need to change to live a fuller and more hopeful life? Because transition, I mean, think about it. It's not just for you, it's for others. You know, people get to benefit from this change that is going to take place. Transition is just the meantime in between time. It's just the process, the state that you're in where the old is leaving and the new is coming. It hasn't happened yet. I mean, it's like God is talking to my husband and I about this transition, and he's telling us to prepare our children, prepare ourselves. And it's almost like, how do we prepare them for something that we don't even know? That's how that faith piece is going to tie into it. How do you prepare for something that you don't even know, that you've never experienced, that you don't even understand? I wanted to share one of the messages that he gave us. For this transition will seem foolish, but needed in this season, for they will be better. This is what he's telling us to tell our sons, that this transition will seem foolish. It's like, okay, I tell them that, they don't know what to do with that because they don't understand that. But I trust God, and I know that there's going to come a time when they're going to say, oh, that makes sense. Oh, okay, now I get it. He's saying, prepare, prepare, prepare. This is another thing that I want to share with you guys. My husband better leave me alone. He just every Wednesday he just forgets. Okay, number one, God gives us the time we need to adjust and release the past. That is good news right there. Come on, this season of transition, God gives us the time we need to adjust and release the past. Get over it. Yesterday is done. All we have is today and tomorrow. So we got to let go of what we believe to be true yesterday. We got to let go of how we used to do things, what we thought we knew to be true, how we saw things. We got to let that go. The way we was conducting our everyday life, it's like when God is taking you somewhere new, all of that has to go. Remember when he was, getting the disciples and he was telling them to follow him? And they were like, oh, well, my dad is sick. I got to go back and bury my dad. Jesus is like, let the dead bury the dead. Come on. It's like, we going forward. We going this way. Once you encounter Jesus, your past, you got to not turn back. You got to look forward. Come on. You got to not look back. It's nothing. Your past can't help you do anything when it comes to God and he having the future that he had for you and the promises of him. It's all new. This is good. Transition, it gives us an opportunity to trust God, to be intimate with him. I know I wrote that down somewhere. I guess it'll show up in my notes at some point. Number two, maybe here it is. Transition is an invitation to intimacy with God. So I'm praying that, my perspective on transition, that I can shift you, to not look at this as something that is bad or that's something that is negative that's happening to you, but something that is promising. Come on. That this is because think about it. If you know something, if you are well versed at something, if you are experiencing something, how you don't really have to trust God for it. You putting your faith and trust in yourself, in your knowledge, in your skills, in your gifts, in your talent, right? But when you're going through this transition, when you're going through something that you don't know anything about, it requires intimacy with God. You got to now inquire of the Lord. You got to now lean to God. You now got to press your ear towards his breastplate so you can, hear the instructions from him, because you don't know how to navigate these waters, this territory. You've never been here before. So, that's why I love change, because it just brings me closer to my Father. It makes me have to trust him. It makes me not have to lean to my own understanding and acknowledge him in all of my ways so he can direct my path. I'm telling you, when I realized that being a Christian and giving my life to Christ and making Jesus my Lord required no thought from me, I was all in. I can abandon this brain. My thinking has gotten me into a lot of trouble. And I said, oh no, girl, I don't trust you. I don't trust myself, because there are ways that seem right, but the end of those ways are death and destruction. And I was destroying myself, thinking that I was making sound decisions, but they were working against me. And so when I invited Jesus Christ to be my Lord and my Savior, I ain't never got to make another bad decision in my life because he's already figured it out. He's already set my life up for me. He already knew who he had for me as a husband. I'm telling you, I did not have to figure anything out. I didn't have to go through these long, tedious processes. Number three, transition is preparing for the new God is doing. Transition is preparing for the new that God is doing. I mean, I'm smiling because I know I'm in a season of transition, and I want to give you guys some indicators so you too can know whether you're in this season of transition. But let's go to Ecclesiastes chapter 3, verse 1. It says, to everything there is a season, a time for every purpose under heaven. And then you guys, Ecclesiastics, they break it down. A time, let's go down. A time to be born and a time to die, a time to plant and a time to pluck what is planted, a time to kill, a time to heal, a time to break down and a time to build up, a time to weep and a time to laugh, a time to mourn and a time to dance, a time to cast away stones and a time to gather stones, a time to embrace and a time to refrain from embracing, a time to gain and a time to lose, a time to keep and a time to throw away. Come on, he's saying that there is a season and a time for everything, a time to tear and a time to sow, a time to keep silence and a time to speak, a time to love and a time to hate, a time of war and a time of peace. So that is telling us that everybody, even if you're not currently going through a transition, you will at some point. At some point, you're going to be in a time of transition. Now, I'm going to talk to you guys about my personal experience. I'm telling you, from the beginning of 2024, I've been expressing to my husband, even to my siblings, of how I feel lost. I was just feeling this state of loss. Like I didn't know what to do. I didn't know what to do. And I'm somebody who I like to know my purpose, what I'm supposed to do. And I just felt like I don't know what to do every day. Every day I will wake up and I will feel so unsettled. I will feel so unhinged. I'm telling you, I think loss is probably the best adjective I can use to describe how I was feeling. You know, feeling restless, feeling aimless. I mean, oh, it's just the worst. Even though I'm telling you, I love change, I love transition, I love it all. But I'm telling you, for me, feeling and I've never felt this feeling before like this, like, and not for this extended period of time. I just felt confused and nobody could help me, and my husband, he loves to try to solve my problems. If I share with him something that is going on with me, I mean, he wants me to just be back to normal. He doesn't like to see me not be my 100% self because he's used to me being so confident. He's used to me having the answer. And then he tried to like use my words on me. Well, babe, you said there's a solution to every problem. I said it is, but I don't have this one. I'm like, this is beyond me. I mean, like really, I felt depressed. So I'm talking to somebody. If these are some of the feelings, then you may be in a season of transition. You may have experience like even I know mine is spiritual, but you may have experienced some type of a recent change, right, in your life. Maybe your relationship status has changed. Maybe, you're going through a divorce or a changing of your job, or maybe some type of loss. You may have had a death in your family, or some type of health change or challenge. It can even be a milestone, like you turning the big 50 or the big 60, one of those round numbers that you kind of just feel like a shift, like you just feeling like, I don't, I want something different. I want something new. I want to switch it up a little bit. I know many times for us women, we going to give ourselves the big chop. We going to chop our hair off when we just looking to kind of disrupt or have a change. Those are some of the indicators of of being in a transition, is a sense of unsettledness, right? Change, disruption, even disagreements. You just feeling like, okay, what is going on? Why are we going back and forth? What is, a change in your relationship with somebody, even friendships, that can be a transition. What else? Relocating. Um, Anything like that, some emotional changes. I told you guys that for me, going through this transition, I experienced depression. You may be experiencing anxiety, fatigue. I think I felt like that too, just tired and not knowing why, I felt tired. You may have trouble sleeping. I think I had that too. I mean, I'm telling you, I was just like, oh my God. I mean, I was looking to do anything. I had told, the ministry, well, I put in my 30-day notice. I'm like, you just don't feel like you want to continue doing the stuff that you've been doing. You just don't feel like it has any purpose for you, or you don't you've done all you can do in this area. You may even be feeling emotional changes as far as your eating is concerned, or you may be, abusing drugs or alcohol. You may really be going through, those are indicators that you're going through a transition. Being tired, like I said, of doing the same thing over and over again. Like you may just be feeling like, okay, it got to be more to life than just this. You start to question, what is my purpose? Why am I here? Okay, God, why do you have me here? These are all indicators that, you may be in a season of transition. You may see that the things that you used to do, or the things that used to work, now they're not working anymore, and you trying to figure out, well, I used to do it this way all the time, and now it's not really working. Even what used to be easy for you, right? It's not as easy for you anymore. So these are all indicators that you may be going through a season of transition. And I'm telling you, rejoice, be glad that God is up to something in your life. He is taking you from one state to another. He is transforming you. Remember that this is an opportunity for intimacy with God. That you can't lean to your own understanding in this season, that you're going to really have to begin to be quiet in this moment and really hear the instructions of your Father. I mean, because He's the only one that is in our tomorrow today. You can't see what's coming. uh and just get ready, get prepared. And I'm telling you, that is so hard and weird, because you like, prepare for what? But just do whatever it is that God is, calling you to do. Like, He tells us to prepare your children, and all I can do is prepare them. All I can do is say, hey, you know, we are going through a season of transition. Things are not going to be how they used to be. I can't tell you guys what they're going to be, but I'm just telling you to be prepared for something different. Be prepared for something new. I mean, that is preparing them. That is just, informing them that, hey, our lives are not going to be how they are. And I don't know how it's going to show up or what it's going to look like. I don't know if we're going to relocate. I don't know if our financial situation is going to change. I don't know if, you know, um, our ministry life is going to change. You know what I'm saying? But it's going to affect whatever this change or this promise is going to be. It's going to affect everybody around us, right? So a transition is the in between time of life as you knew it and something completely different. So again, I told you guys, life as you known it is you are in a season of transition. I'm telling you, you guys, that even if you don't see this in your personal, like your personal life, it's happening in the world. I'm telling you, it's happening in the world. All of these things that you have put your trust into, that you trust that you can just go to the grocery store whenever you want to, that may not be the case anymore. That you just trust that you can just get up and go outside, that may not be what you can do. You may trust that you can just turn on your TV. I mean, you may not have any electricity. I mean, you put your trust in your job, you may not be able to do that. You understand what I'm saying? And I'm telling you, you guys, don't look at this as doom and gloom. This is why I'm on here. This is why God has given me this word and this message at this time. I told you my messages are time sensitive. You're going to be hearing more and more from me, giving you instructions about what saith the Lord. And like right now, I get 0 people on here, but the word is still going forth. You have to tune into the frequency of in which I'm transmitting God's word. And if you're not on here to receive it, don't be mad at God because he sent me to prepare the way. He sent me to prepare the way. I'm going to give you some more instructions. You better go stock up on some canned goods. You better stock up on some masks and some hand sanitizer and some mouthwash, some of the yellow mouthwash. But see, if you're not tuned into this Facebook channel, this Instagram channel, this YouTube channel, you can't hear what saith the Lord. I'm telling you, we are all going through a time of transition. A transition is the in between time of life as you knew it and something completely different. We are on the brink of something we've never seen before. We are on the brink of something we've never imagined or have lived out before. And I'm telling you that you're going to need to get ready. And the only way you can get ready is to hearken to the voice of God. You got to get in close proximity with God. I'm telling you, I have been going through these stages of uncertainty, unsettledness, restlessness, confusion, just feeling like I was lost, feeling like I know that God didn't abandon me, but just feeling totally isolated, feeling like clueless. It's just no other way to say it. Let's see what else I want to share with you guys. Yeah, I told you guys about, during this season that for some, of us, we like to go, go, go. We like to move. We like to do this. But this is a time where you might have to slow down. Hey, T, I was just praying about this. We'll definitely be getting those items. I'm telling you, go get it. And I'm telling you today, remember, tomorrow isn't promised. All we have is today. And that's another thing that we may have to stop relying on, thinking that we have time. I'm telling you, let's just start today, taking care of what we can take care of today, right? Because we may not have the luxury of putting things off till tomorrow. Tomorrow might be too late. So I'm telling you, that's what I'm saying to you guys. Everything that we know to be true, everything that we have experienced, everything that we have done, when we enter into this new place, we may not be able to do that. We're not going to be able to use this old knowledge and apply it to this new place. Those things may not, ATMs may not be in our tomorrow. Being able to go to the grocery store may not be in our tomorrow, but if it is today, let's take advantage of it. Get out some money and have some small bills available, because ATM machines may not be available tomorrow. I'm telling you, prepare. In this period of transition, again, I told you, you may be asking yourself, why am I here? How did I get here? God, who do you want me to become? These are indicators that you are in a season of transition. And I've asked myself these questions. How did I get here? How is this my life? How is this my life? Okay, God, what are you doing? Why did you feel the need for me to have to go through this? Why am I experiencing this? You may be going through a process of woundedness, right? As you're asking these questions and reflecting, you want to begin identifying truths that can anchor your heart and mind to God's word and his promises. Come on, because there are things that God has planted in you that you just don't quite see clearly yet. So when you're asking yourself these questions like, God, what is this? What is going on? Why am I feeling like this? How did I get here? Why did this happen to me? Come on, there are things that God has planted in you that you just do not quite see clearly yet. He will reveal everything. Remember, in everything, there's a season and there's a time. There's a time for everything. You will soon know. You will soon discover. You will soon understand. What was that phrase that our personal transformation helps us to become more resilient and empowered to meet changes, good and bad, as they occur in the journey of life. So all of these things, everything that is happening to you, everything that you are experiencing, even during this time, even you feeling unsettled, uncertain, why did this happen to me? It's all working together for your good. Just know that. It is all working together for your good. What else I want to share with you? Here's a good one. Something that is going to occur that you may not have seen coming is that you are going to begin to be more comfortable with abandoning the identity that you have adopted up to this point in your life. Come on, when things happen to you, right? It's because that you have identified yourself as something. You came up with this identity for yourself. And now this thing that has come to disrupt your normal, this thing that has come to break the pattern, this disagreement, this falling out, this dissolvement of a relationship is now causing you to challenge your identity, right? This is good. This is good. This is to get you off of this uh, false narrative, this false trail, this false identity, this false idea that you've come up with to now get you on track with God. The Bible tells us don't think it's strange when these things happen to you. Don't think it's strange. Come on, you got to think of it that everything happens for a reason. Nothing just happens by chance. Everything happens for a reason. It is for us to seek wisdom and guidance from our Creator. Come on, you might have to abandon some titles. You know how some people are stuck on Mrs. and Mr. and I'm married and I'm pastor and I'm the president and I'm the leader and I'm the head and it's like what? You might gotta abandon that. Come on, those things that you have connected your identity with that make you feel successful, that makes you feel empowered, that makes you feel in charge. It's like, come on, you gave yourself that. I'm saying this is good, you guys. You begin to become more intrigued with becoming the person that God already knows you to be. God is trying to bring you over into his kingdom and trying to get you to come out of the world, come out of the patterns of the world. Stop identifying yourself with these things that the world think is success and the world think is so great. The Bible says the greatest among these are the least of them. You know, you got to be little to be great in the kingdom. Your outer life that you describe with your words or language are in the process of catching up with what you've already decided inside your heart. Come on, there is something that you know about you on the inside of you, and your words are going to start catching up with what God has already put on the inside of you. Come on, that's what I'm saying. You got to embrace this season of transition. You'll never be the same. Oh, I can't wait to bring the faith piece into this. Yeah, next week, next week, next week. Say next week. Say I'm coming back next week. We're going to tie this faith into this transition. I'm telling you, you guys, this stuff is revolutionary. Did I ask yeah, I think I asked those questions. You guys got to go back to those questions. How could God use this time of in between to sharpen, refocus, or even redirect your life and leadership? Ask yourself that. How could God use this time of in between to sharpen, to refocus? I'm telling you, it's work to be done in this transition time. You got to start to build up your character, because where God is taking you, it's not just for you, it's for others. I mean, keep that in mind. Just say, wherever you lead me, God, I know it's not just for me, but it's for others too. And you got to sharpen them skills. You got to evaluate yourself. You got to go take a look in the mirror. I mean, like there's even things that I'm working on about myself, I don't like to be one who make excuses, like one husband was saying that his wife don't know how to cook, and I'm saying, well, that's not an excuse. They can learn how to cook. I tell myself that I'm not, as tender and as nurturing, but that's not true. I have it on the inside of me, and if I continue to tell myself that, then I'll keep using that as an excuse to not be it. But God has equipped me to be tender. I don't have to administer tough love all the time. And I know that that is something that, me being a boy mom, you think, oh, them boys got to be tough. No, they want to be hugged. They want to be nurtured. They want to be loved. It's like, ugh. See, that doesn't come easy to me, but it's no excuse for me not to do it. I'm telling you, I'm working on some stuff. That one is a hard one for me, because me because I am a teacher, right? And because, in anything that I do, I'm going to teach you, I'm going to push you. I want you to be better. I want you to be great. I want you to be the best version of yourself. But I also uh need to be tender. I need to be, more nurturing. I don't even know what that look like cuz I ain't never done it. And so, but I'm using my transition time to work on those things. Like I can work on those things. My husband may need me to be, to stroke his ego a little bit, but I'm just like, oh, I don't want you to get stuck there. It's like I don't want people to have to depend on you being stroked or you being coddled. Oh, good, Melba. I ain't by myself. So I look at it like I just feel like I don't want people to lean on that, right? Because if you don't have nobody rooting you on, and if you don't have nobody patting you on your back, it's like, what you gonna do? So, but I ain't gonna think about that. I'm in my season of MMB. I'm minding my business. I'm gonna mind my business. So I'm gonna work on me. I ain't gonna work on you. I ain't giving you no more advice. I'm gonna come on here on tea time. I'm gonna teach and I'm gonna leave it alone. I am going to work on, and even there was some movie that my husband and I was watching, right? And it was this guy, I don't know the name of it. I'll ask Q about it, but it was this guy and this lady, right? And you could tell that she didn't really like him. They were married, but he would come behind her and, he would caress her, or she'll be cleaning up and he'll try, to turn some music on and dance. And she was just like so uninterested. Well, I guess she must have had like a prior drug habit, and so her old boo had came out of jail, and he wanted to get back with her, but she was married. So he pulled out his little drugs and was like, well, here, this is something to think about. So of course, she gave in, and then she ended up using drugs, and then she started staying out all night, and the husband, he would just, sit there, MMB, and the husband would just, he'd be in the bed waiting for his wife to come home, and he'll say something to her, but he just basically his standpoint was, because he loved her, he just stayed steady. He did not allow her actions to shift him one way or another. So, she elevated on him. So she would stay out late and lie and say she was staying with her girlfriend. Then the next thing you knew, and they had a daughter too. The next thing you knew, she was packing up her bag saying she was going. He just stayed steady. She was using the drug. She would come back and he caught her in the house stealing out their daughter's piggy bank. But for me, I took it as, that's what I want to be. I want to perfect that. I want to perfect it where I just stay steady. Like, if you want to be a dummy, I'm going to let you be a dummy. I'm not going to be shaken. I'm not going to be unraveled. I'm not going to be unhinged. I'm not going to act out of character. I'm not going to defend myself. I'm not going to protect myself. I'm going to love you through it all. I mean, I'm telling you, y'all don't know that those are things that I aspire to. Those are things that I feel like are successful. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, yeah, any people could say, oh, you dumb, you a fool, you letting that person come in and steal money from you. I'm saying that I even want to get to a point that if they came back to my house and they stole, I leave $20 on the table. Just you know, I mean, like, I really want to perfect this thing, to not allow anybody's shortcomings, to not allow anybody's behavior, to not allow anybody's decision to affect me. It's not my issue, it's their issue. Why am I going to let what you do affect me? And I'm telling you, that movie, I took some notes from that movie. I said, yeah, I'm gonna practice that. And I had an opportunity. Something happened, and I had an opportunity. I said, well, Lord, anytime you decree and declare a thing, that enemy gonna come and challenge that thing that you said out of your mouth. But I'm telling you, man, I want to practice that. You cheat on me, I'm gonna keep loving you. You lie on me, I'm gonna keep loving you. You persecute me, I'm gonna keep loving you. I ain't gonna defend myself. I'm not going, you're not gonna disturb one hair off of my head. I'm not gonna blink, I'm not gonna respond. I'm just gonna keep on keeping my eyes on Jesus. I want to agree with you, but I'm a what's that, a red God make time, what, okay, you gotta say that again. I'm a God make time, take me on the journey, and I'm not ready yet. I know, I listen, I get it, Melva. I get it, yeah. But you know what I do? I use my driving time as a time to perfect. So like anytime, I somebody driving all fast, or they cut in front of me, or they blow their horn at me, or even if I'm behind somebody who's a distracted driver and they didn't take off, when the light turned, I just use those times to check my temperature, to check my feelings. I mean, and I'm telling you, that's what I'm saying. Like, don't try to go to the mountaintop. I ain't trying to go to the mountaintop. I just use like little everyday things, like, why am I irritated? Why, when they said that irritated me? Or I just take notice of how certain things affect me. Like, I am not the most patient person. So I just kind of feel, how I'm getting agitated. And then I'm saying, okay, Tia, why you getting agitated? So I'm talking about like that. I ain't talking about nobody spitting on me. Like, I ain't ready for that. No. But I'm just saying that, even when I interact, or even let's say if you watching TV or you hear something, and just asking yourself, now, why did that irritate you? That ain't had nothing to do with you. You could stay steady. Stay steady, Tia. Don't let what they say throw you off. Or if somebody, got an opinion about you, it's like, don't allow that opinion to affect you. Don't sit and meditate on it. Don't keep replaying it. Don't analyze it. Don't try to figure out why they say this, or don't even say, oh, well, you know what, when I see them next time, I'm gonna check them, or I'm a return evil for evil. That's what I'm saying. Like, little things like that, just being aware of how you respond in different situations and scenarios. Trust, I ain't there yet. We gonna take it little by little, line by line, precept on precept. No, but I'm just trying to see, what are my triggers? Why did that irritate me? Why are you gonna make that your problem? So what, they don't think highly of you? So what, they don't take your advice? So what, they think they know more than you? They gonna see. You don't have to spell it out for them. You don't have to show them. Those are things I'm talking. Yeah, MMB, mind my business, mind my business, mind my business. If you give somebody advice and they don't want to take it, MMB, MMB. I can't make nobody do what I know to be true. If they think they know better, they got to go with what they think and see how that's going to work out for them. So that's what I mean. So I'm telling you, you guys, I hope that I did my job on today by, changing your perspective on transitions and getting you to have a kingdom perspective about it. Next week, I hope that my special guest will join me, that we can tie faith into transition. I have a story that I want to extract some of these principles from. So, 101. This is good. All right, you guys, I am done. Be blessed. Make sure you hit the replay. Make sure that you hit the share button. Make sure you hit the like button and make sure you subscribe. I'm Tia Williams, and I hope you guys enjoy Tea Time with Tia. Be blessed. Now I got to try to finish this book. I'm praying that this book flow out of me. I don't want to spend a whole lot of time writing this book. I want to write this book in 2 weeks. I still am aiming to meet my goal by August 30th, that not only will my book be written, but it will be published. So pray for me, you guys. All right. Be blessed. Have an amazing Wednesday. Hit the share button.